Hi, my name is Kiara. I run a small online business in the UK called Hubinu. We make predominantly pet products and pet items, and in my vlogs, I talk about small business and the things I have learned along the way. So, I wanted to talk about in this vlog something that completely revolutionized my business. It's a book that I read a couple of years ago. It's called Profit First, and the concept is very simple. You can still get the book, I'll link it in the comments below, but I will explain the basics of it here. So, one of the things that I struggled with an awful lot with my business when I first started was knowing how much money I had available to me to invest in new products and making sure that I'd covered essential costs for things like paying myself a wage and for things like tax. Now, obviously, watching this video, your circumstances may be very different to mine. This became something that I really needed once we had got the unit that we currently work in and had rent to pay, and when we had employees and obviously had wage bills, and once we became VAT registered, because that means we had to pay an additional 20% tax on everything that we earned, along with corporation tax at 20%. So it was essential that I started to put money aside to cover those costs, and that I knew what I had left at the end. But to be honest, even if it's just you on your own, I still think this is such an important thing for you to start doing right from the outset, because it will help you have such a good grasp of your finances. I'm going to explain it more in detail now. So, Profit First works with you deciding what the key costs in your business are and setting up savings accounts for each of those different things. So for me, I have operating expenses, equipment savings. So that's if I want to get a new piece of equipment, say for example, a new printer or I don't know, a new heat press or something like that. Then there's my postage bill, because my postage bill does tend to be quite high and makes up quite a large percentage of my business costs. Then there is the profit, and that's obviously very important because your business does need to make profit. And this whole process is about putting the profit of your business first. Then there is the tax, and then there is the wages. And this can obviously be wages that you choose to pay yourself. So you work out what your, say for example, you add up all your business costs for a month, and then you look at what your outgoings are and you work out rough percentages of what each of those different things are costing you. So for me, my wage bill, I assigned 20% of what we earn a month to the wage bill, 22% for the tax bill. That's because in the UK you pay 20% corporation tax on what you earn, and obviously we have to pay VAT as well. So I add a little bit extra in there for the tax. The tax may change, and obviously it may vary depending on where you are. I think it's 20% corporation tax. It might be less, I can't remember, but I put aside 22%. The postage is 10%. My saving for equipment is 5%. I try to keep that low. I allocate 15% profit. We are a limited company, so how much profit we make depends on how much my husband and I can get paid in addition to our basic wage. And the other one, the main one, is OPEX, which is operating expenses. So that's everything else. That is rent for our unit, materials that we need to buy in to make our products, all of those kind of things, or advertising, all of that stuff. So if I was to earn, or you were to earn your business, let's say £3,000 a month, I would then divide that £3,000 up based on the percentages I have assigned to each account. And I would move that money into each of those accounts, because then whatever is left in my operating expenses account is the money that I have to play with, that I may choose to invest in a new product, a new venture. Perhaps I want to try Google ads or Facebook ads, or I might want to get somebody to do my social media for me, or anything like that. So that's the money I have to play with. The equipment saving money I put aside, as I said, if I want to buy anything big, or maybe I want to invest in some new product and it's quite expensive, so I might use that money for that. I've got my postage money put aside. I've got my tax money put aside, most importantly, my money to pay my wages, and obviously my profit money. Now, this year has been quite difficult. And for the first time ever, we had to use our business overdraft. And because we had a negative amount in the bank for the first time ever, I stopped using this method. And I got myself into a right mess. And I didn't realize how much money I had for different things. It got to the end of the year, I realized I didn't have enough money for the tax bill. And obviously, luckily, we've had Christmas. You can see we've had lots of orders come in over Christmas, and that has enabled me to put the money aside for last year's tax bill. So I have now, in the last couple of weeks, started to use this method again, even though it meant using our overdraft, just because for me personally, it helped me to see what money we needed to accumulate and what money I had left to be able to spend in certain areas. Now, obviously, loans, overdrafts, all of those kind of things are very much a personal thing. I'm certainly not giving you any advice here or financial advice in that respect. But what I will say is that since I implemented this particular method in my business, it completely revolutionized the way that I ran the business, because I knew if I had the money to be able to afford to invest in something new, it enabled me to save up for equipment without it putting a massive hole in our cash flow. So I personally think that it doesn't matter how big or small you are, implementing this method will have a very positive effect on your business. If you've got any questions, please reach out in the comments below. And if there's anything else you'd like me to discuss in these vlogs, then again, please just comment below. I'm happy to take suggestions. Thanks again for watching.